It doesn't.
Okay, great. Yes, let's do it. Got it. Okay.
Welcome to SenchTV, where we discuss news and politics as well as opinions as facts. That's right. If they can do it, we can do it. No, for serious though, I am a Democratic organizer in a red rural area, but I live in a blue state of New Jersey. Even in my red rural area, I am in a blue dot. When I moved here 10 years ago, we had a Republican mayor, and all 6 town council members were Republicans. Now we have a Democratic mayor, first woman, first Democrat ever elected as mayor of my town's 300-year history, and 6 of those town council seats, 5 of them are held by Democrats. We did that by connecting with voters and by organizing. So if you're interested in learning more about how to do that, then please tune into this channel. I'll also be discussing other news and politics and like I said, opinions about those news and politics. So this isn't just facts, but it's a place to come and learn how to fight talking points, especially if you have people in your life who are still MAGA, who are Republicans, what to say to them, how to form opinions and ideas of your own, how to connect and organize with other like-minded people in your area. If you are a blue dot in a red area, I want us all to come together, especially to understand how to make that happen in other places and how we can spread and grow our message. So that's what this channel is about. Subscribe and like and share my content. I'm excited to venture on this journey with you guys. And of course, this week, we start off with the news that we're now running Venezuela. I mean, look at these guys. Don't they look primed and ready to run a whole other country? You have the sundown clown over here, racist grandpa. You have, blackmail me, Lady G, and the guy who lived next door to Jeffrey Epstein. So that's cool. I'm sure they're up to the task. That's going to be fun. Marco Rubio going on all these Sunday shows talking about how, why are you guys focused so much on this idea that we're running Venezuela? And it's because these clowns can barely run our country. And they didn't run on that, actually. The premise of America First is, of course, that we were not going to do these kinds of things anymore. So what's interesting about all of this is that the propaganda and the groundwork wasn't actually done. In fact, they uprooted previous propaganda about going into places like Iraq and for freedom and all of these things. And then they told their own voters that that was actually a bad thing. And now we're in snip, snap, right? Where his own loyalists, Trump's loyalists, the regime loyalists have to go back and say, actually, no, it's a good thing. Actually, no, this is what we want to do. And we should have done it even better the first time. We should have taken all that Iraqi oil. So snip, snap. That is who this administration is, of course. So hypocrisy is the entire point. Being above the law is the entire point. Even more valuable than currency is being able to be indicted, convicted, tried in a court of law and convicted and found guilty of 34 counts of felonies, but still be president of the United States. That is more valuable than any currency. And so Donald Trump has proven that he is allowed to point to Maduro's indictments as a reason why military extraction by the United States is necessary and something that should be applauded, whereas he himself has been convicted of felonies, right? The entire point is to be above the law. It is that the laws apply to you guys and not to us. So that is exactly what's happening here. And I don't know why liberals get into this like, oh, but, the hypocrisy. And it's like, guys, get it through your heads. The hypocrisy is the entire point. The point is to be above the law. That is what they want, and that's what they have. And now it's time for Sench Outside. Sench Outside is brought to you by, I don't have a sponsor yet, but if you'd like me to go outside and visit your business here in New Jersey, I'm more than happy to give you that opportunity. All right. Anyway, Sench Outside this week was going to a protest outside of A proposed site for an ICE facility here in New Jersey, Roxbury Township, is considering transforming one of their warehouses to house people. This warehouse currently stands empty, and instead of making something like, affordable housing in a very working class area, they've decided to warehouse people. I met and spoke with a lot of people at this ICE detention facility protest. This was on Saturday, January 3rd. I did not get a whole lot of interviews. I will be better about doing that. Instead, I was on live and didn't record as much as I should have. I did get part of Brian Varela's statement. Brian Varela is running for Congress here in the 7th Congressional District of New Jersey. Nope. Says New Jersey right there. And you know what? I have to say, Brian walks the walk as much as he talks the talk. So it was nice to see a congressional candidate out there.
Because I was really excited that I didn't have to go there for the first time in 4 years. He's not fired anymore. He's so happy that he's not.
This guy has a sign that says, "I'm not ICE, but how would you know?" And he's in full tactical gear. I'll turn the camera around in just a second.
Literally equating human beings to Amazon packages. They want to stick human beings in warehouses where there's poor ventilation, there's poor plumbing, poor electricity, and the people don't want that. So here we are fighting back to make sure that that doesn't happen, to signal not just to the Trump administration, but to Tom King Jr., which this is his district right now, by the way, that this is not acceptable, this is not welcome in our community, and we are absolutely here to fight back and make sure that this does not happen in Roxbury.
Thank you, Brian. Guys, Brian's running for Congress
And now it's time here at SenchTV, what we call liberal Hopecore. Yes, something to be hopeful for. And this week, I am choosing Zohran Mamdani's inauguration. For me, this came out of a Occupy Wall Street movement that happened back in 2008 after the collapse of our automotive industry and banking, as well as real estate. You know the one, the big recession. And people at the time derided that movement, and even after, the narrative was always, well, it didn't matter much, it didn't mean anything, and it didn't amount to anything. And 16 years later, Zohran Mamdani is elected as the first Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City, and I think the country, to be honest. So this is just to say your protests do matter. Talking to each other matters. Being on here with each other matters. If it didn't matter, the bots wouldn't be in my comments, right? If it didn't matter, then they wouldn't tell us it didn't matter. They only tell us it doesn't matter when it does matter the most. So, Hopecore this week goes to Zohran Mamdani. Congratulations to the people of New York City. I find New York City to be my favorite city in the world, and I didn't know that it could become even more favoriter, but it has. This segment has been brought to you by, insert sponsor here, guys. Happy to talk about you if you're willing to sponsor my content.